What's going on, guys? Gomer's here for one last hoorah. You fool, you thought that was the last video? I'm doing another. Because I realized that it would be about a week until I could do another one, and nor myself, you guys, or my bank account would be too pleased with that, I don't believe. I was at a Twins game the other day against the Angels. Unfortunately, Mr. Ohtani was not playing. Shout out to a couple of y'all that I met there. And you wouldn't believe it. 2 Trulies. $24. Robbing me blind. Dude, not too far from now, I'm gonna have to be on the street like Squidward. You know, clanking a cup spare change, ma'am. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start selling bathwater to recoup some of that. I'm fine, but for real, $24. 12 ounces in there. Are you... Jesus Christ. Anyway. On different news, we have Player of the Month coming relatively soon for the month of July. Pretty big month. The Rays are nearly in first place. The Twins have played baseball. They've not forfeited the rest of the season, though I think they should. And not trade Byron Buxton. Spend some money. Let me know your POTM predictions in the comments section below. Who's going to get Lightning Diamond? A couple really interesting options this time around. Leave a like if you guys enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I promise you things are going to get real back to normal once I'm back from Chicago, once I'm back from Lollapalooza. So, that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into it right now. Start with Patrick Sandoval here. Pretty big month. Nearly threw a no-hitter against the Twins, but not deep enough. Needed a sleeve for a few extra inches on that, I guess. Really good month, of course, and I think his card would reflect that. You will notice I added a sinker to every pitcher on here just because I like to have fun, which would give him a 4-seam, a slider, a changeup, a curveball, and a sinker. Now, I think it would be a pretty damn good card here. He had a good month all the way around, struck out a good amount of batters, had a really low opponent batting average, very low whip, and of course it went deep into some ball games too. So his stamina, hit 9, and K9 would be pretty satisfactory. 83 walk 9 I think is solid. In terms of the pitches, pretty good as well. You know, fastball's not going to be too fast, nor is the slider, but I think this card could work as a, I think there's an error. I think he should be a lefty. I'm not going to change it, just imagine another L on there, alright? So Patrick Sandoval could be a pretty cool card, I would agree. So Patrick Sandoval could be a pretty cool card. Here we have an AJ Pollock as Gomer's going to reappear on the screen. We've talked about the disservice SDS has done to Mr. Pollock numerous times by now. By the way, a very good investment to go to gold this week if you guys have been following roster update predictions. AJ Pollock honestly could make a case for the Lightning card. I just didn't pick him for the thumbnail once because who was clicking on an AJ Pollock thumbnail, and 2 because his defense is terrible. I had to do a lot of work to even get it up to a nice amount of fielding. That said, his offense is going to be raw. 113, 107 against right-handers, respectively. Against lefties, 93, 112 power. He's, I think, like, his regular fielding is really abhorrent. I think this is fair. They usually give boost. I know Tyler Stevenson had like no fielding. This is kind of what I looked at to judge. They gave him like plus 20, plus 20, even more fielding on what he had. So I think they would do the same for Pollock here. Good speed, good right-handed swing. I think this would be a pretty damn solid card. Just don't waste the, Lightning on this one. Unless you want to give him really good defense, in which case I would be, go ahead. Fully obliged in doing that, SDS, but Pollock would be quite cool in one Gomer's opinion. Brandon Lowe, regular season Lowe. Wouldn't you know it is back to his regular season ways, finally out of that postseason slump. And this card could be pretty fucking cool, if I do say so myself. He has a sweet lefty swing. You guys know I am a definitive fetishizer of left-handers in MLB The Show. A big fan. And he has pretty good splits. I would say. He actually hit lefties very well, like 375, and today he also went 3 for 4 with a home run against the Yankees. Of course, the Rays fucking dropped this game, though. But would be a good card. Defense in the 80s, I think, is fair. Parallel him up to getting that in the outfield as well with not great speed. And, you know, good power and good contact against lefties. Against right-handers, a little lackluster, but there's a few more days in the month. Wow. Not sure who the Yankees have on deck, but hopefully not Garrett Cole. So kind of boost those stats up a little bit. Here we have Raisel Iglesias, who blew a save against the Twins, the game I was at, by the way, so really, should he even get a card? Sure, he can perform well when Gomer's not in attendance, but when he is, he folds. He's looking like a postseason Aroldis Chapman, you know, in various times, with the Cubs, with the Yankees, in certain instances. If, you know, if Rajay Davis or Mike Brasso or Jose Altuve are batting, that would be Raisel Iglesias when I'm in attendance. That's it. Really good month. 105, 101 is what I have for hitting K per 9. 92 BB9, so his PCI is not going to be as small, or your opponent's PCI is not going to be as small as you might hope, but he should be able to dot with pinpoint, and he had a two-seamer. I just went ahead and, you know, picked a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, scratched that shit away, and shabam, a sinker, because I think it's more fun, again. So, four-seam sinker, 98, 95, I had that at. Hopefully, like an 89, maybe even touching into a 90 on the slider. Probably not, that's wishful thinking, but who knows? Raisel could be a cool card. He always used to be one of my favorite budget relievers back when he was in Cincy. Could be the same way this time. So, yeah, it's going to be my pick right there. Moving on to the next one, we have Harrison Bader, who is having a really solid month for the Cardinals. Unfortunately, he is not hitting lefties. He is yet to get, well, his ISO is 0 against left-handers. But against righties, doing quite well. 114, 97, I have them at. My notepad is saying that he had a home run and 2 doubles today. Go Cards. Defense, of course, this is a strong suit. 95, 96 on fielding and reaction. I didn't boost any of that. Same thing with speed. I kind of think Byron Buxton just not as balanced. And again, there's a few more days if he can do a little bit better against lefties. This could be a really, really cool card to see. Unfortunately, if it were to kind of look like this, pretty disappointing, because he's not really playable against lefties at that point. Even if he had like 84 power against lefties, still not great because of the contact. So, and again, like I said, a 0 ISO, so it's hard to fabricate that shit unless we have Schwarb 2 on our hands, which I would not be opposed to. Could be a very cool card, SDS. Here we have Nathan Eovaldi, Rays great, who again, I did the luxury of adding a sinker to, in which would give him a pretty stacked arsenal of a four-seam, cutter, splitter, and sinker. 4 fastballs and 1 hanging breaking ball. 88 hit per 9. His opponent batting average is, I think, like 230, 102 K per 9, but he limit walked. I think he only gave up 2 walks in the month, which is quite good. And throws hard, should have a good amount of break. And again, those 5 pitches are pretty good. I think the splitter's a bit better opposed to changeups. It depends. In this scenario, it would have a good differential between the four seam, so if that has good break on it, could be pretty effective. I think of like Otani splitter, I think that does quite well if you know how to throw it, what situations, and where to put it in the strike zone. And of course, the cutter and sinker combination is quite nasty. The curveball, I would rather have a slider, but oh well, I can only add in 1 fictional pitch at a time here, I suppose. But Nathan Eovaldi, I think, would be pretty cool. On to the next one. Austin Riley, kind of a weird card. He hit 2 home runs today. Again, not hitting lefties. He would do cool against right-handers. No defense. I don't know. I think he deserves a card. He's had a really good season. Kind of turned it around from what I think was a poor 2020. I can't remember, but pretty surprising. A lot of people weren't expecting him to kind of break out like this, so it'd be cool to see. Braves fans, huh? Chop on to the trading block. Eric Haase, Eric Haase, not sure, but he hit a grand slam against Robles in the 9th inning in the Twins game tonight, so I guess I should put some respect on his name. Could be pretty cool. He's going to kill lefties. Against righties is going to be, you know, not good. And again, catching, for some reason, the show zone, if you guys are watching this, can you add blocking out of this? Or maybe I'm not smart enough to know how that's added on, but he would have like 80-something blocking from what I could tell. Pretty confident in this card probably coming to fruition. But let's talk about my predictions here for the Lightning. We have Juan Soto for one of them. Question, would Juan Soto get another card? I don't know, he got a 97. We nearly got 3 Salvador Perez cards in the span of like 30 hours. Oh, we did get 2 Salvador Perez cards within the span of like 8. So it's definitely possible that we could see something like this. And he's fine. Well, Juan Soto was having a good year. Just casuals didn't realize that his ex-WOBA and his ex-slug were higher than his actual slug. Hopefully you guys don't understand that because you're spending too much time on the PC. But Juan Soto was just not getting the results. He was just kind of getting unlucky was the thing. And now he's killing it. And he's having a very good month. And looks like he could get a finest card, but why not give him this card right now? The fielding, by the way, I saw a graphic on Twitter. He's right behind Joey Gallo and outs above average, which is pretty fantastic. He was ahead of guys like Mookie Betts. Pretty fucking crazy in reality, so maybe even boost that a bit higher. But this could be the most playable Juan Soto we've had. I think it could be really, really good. With parallel up, he would have everything offensively above 100. He would be maxed out against power lefty and contact righty. I think this would be a fantastic card. There's other options. Pollock, the one that we're going to talk about right here, but I think Juan Soto would be my preference. Freddie Freeman, a lot of people were writing him off, saying it was a Mickey Mouse MVP last year, but I disagree. Freddie Freeman is a really good player. Kind of like Joey Votto, could kind of sneak into the Hall of Fame. Well, Votto's had a few more years on it, but Freeman kind of having that trajectory. He has an MVP, like it or not, and he's just been Mr. Consistent, and he's been super uber hot in the month of July. 125, 107 splits against righties. I have him 104. Not really hitting a ton of power against lefties, which is quite unfortunate, I must say, but not much I can do about that. Hit better, Freddie. 87 fielding would be pretty good. Probably get to, well, would get to diamond if one were to parallel him up. And speed, yeah, decent at first base. So those are 2 that I could see. In terms of pitchers, I don't know. I kind of just never want to put pitchers as the Lightning Diamond because I usually don't want them as much as hitters. That's just my opinion. A starter that you can use 1 out of every 3-4 games depending on, opposed to somebody who you can use every game. Decision seems pretty obvious, doesn't it? I don't know. That's my July Player of the Month predictions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Did I get them all wrong? Did I get them all right by some off chance? Who knows? Time will tell, as we like to say on this channel. Leave a like if you guys enjoy. Hope you guys have a great day. There it goes himself. Yeet.